Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Bling Galleria, and we're on day 5 of the Dr. Seuss series. So we're diving right into this mani. We're going to start out by some color blocking here, and I am using my favorite color blocking tape. You've seen it before here in action on my channel, along with this trusty handy dandy silicone tool. I use the 3M medical tape for color blocking because I feel like it really just applies great on a press-on or even your natural nail. Because it's more of a medical sticky tape, it tends to have a better stickiness to it, so you don't have like any lifting or anything like that when you place it on the nail. Plus, it doesn't absorb any of the liquids, which I love that about it, and it helps me get a really clean, crisp color blocking. So anyways, so back into this mani here, we are diving into this beautiful white pearl, which by the way is a staple color. You can see there my jar is a little bit low. I love white pearl so much. I use it in so many manis. It's a great color to have, especially if you like nail art or if you like doing decals. It's the perfect background. It has a beautiful shimmer to it, but the shimmer is not overpowering at all. So any art that you're doing or decals or transfer foils, that image on the transfer foils or decals is really still going to shine through. That dip powder isn't going to overtake any of that artwork that you're doing. It's just a gorgeous light shimmer, and it's amazing, and it is so beautiful on its own, as you see here on this nail. So anytime you see me dusting off in this mani process, just know that I did cure that nail for 30 seconds in a UV lamp, because when you are working with gels, you do have to cure it versus if you were using dip liquids. So just keep that in mind anytime you see me dipping into the jar here and then dusting off that nail is cured. I figured since we are curing so many nails individually today with this mani that I would just skip putting in cure for 30 seconds. Otherwise that would be popping up on the screen at all times. So I did not like where I originally had that color blocking. So I just took off that color blocking tape and we reapplied some new color blocking tape, and we're just going in carefully here with that gel on the nail here. Now Bling Galleria is amazing for press-ons, their gels, because the consistency and the viscosity is very, very thin. So you're gonna get a really clean, thin application, which is perfect, especially if you like making press-ons, because it's gonna help reduce your filing and buffing time. And the combination of the gels from Bling Galleria and the dip powders are like the perfect combination, because in general I don't have very like any hard time struggling with filing and buffing, if that makes sense, because of the powders. They are like the perfect finely milled dip powders, and then there's something magical with the consistency of the gels. Just the application itself is flawless, and I really like the combination of the two together, especially the gels, because you know, if you've been watching my channel, you know that the Bling Galleria gels, I use them almost in 90% of my videos because they're just that amazing with the gel method. But if you haven't tried these gels yet and you're looking to try any gels for the gel method, these gels are going to be a way to go. They're also HEMA free, but some gels are thicker than others, some are more liquidy than others. Bling Galleria, like I said, it's the perfect viscosity, especially if you like doing press-ons. Even if you're not doing press-ons and you are doing the gel method on your own natural nails or enhancements, these gels are going to be great because it's going to help reduce any bulk. So now I'm applying that gel carefully on that yellow nail there. I'm just taking my time and just making sure that yellow area is fully covered, and then I'm dipping directly into the jar here. And when you are dipping into the jar with the gel method, just make sure you're dipping with a gentle hand, just because that gel is not cured until it is into that light. So if you do smudge it or anything like that, just be careful with that. If you do end up smudging it and it's unable to repair itself, you can just take a lint-free wipe that off and start over. Okay, so now you're probably like, what are you doing? I am taking this ombre brush and I am scrubbing on that yellow dip powder over that white pearl, because I wanted kind of like somebody took a crayon to the nail and kind of scribbled on that white area of that nail to really tie in this Dr. Seuss theme. We are using some decals from that Nails Truly sub bag, and it is the one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish decals. So I really wanted to just tie in this mani and kind of give it more of like a scribble crayon effect. So that's what I did with that yellow nail. And then we're going in with this gorgeous red. Now you will notice I switched it up. Originally I thought I grabbed real red, and then when I was in the middle of gonna go into real red, I realized that I grabbed a coral color, but I wanted to go in with this beautiful red, and it is stunning. It is everything. So if you're wondering why I switched colors from the beginning of the video with that coral red, I just grabbed the wrong one. But this red is amazing. It is a true bright red, and I really like the colors that we're using today. These are like great colors to have in your collection. If you don't have any colors from Bling Galleria, definitely get some primary colors because you cannot go wrong. The quality of these powders are amazing. Check out that full coverage red. So again, I'm going to take that ombre brush, and I am just going to go ahead and scrub on that dip powder onto that nail. Again, we are making like a crayon effect on that nail, and I just thought it would be just so fun. It is Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss world is a little bit very like crazy and just fun, so I just thought to add a little extra color to this mani would be fun. All right, so speaking of full coverage, get ready to see how full coverage Blue Hawaiian is. Isn't that amazing? It is stunning. It is everything. This blue, it is bright, it's vibrant, it is completely full coverage. To be honest with you, I did not need to do a second dip. I just really wanted to build up the strength of this press-on set here, but totally could get away with one dip because it's that full coverage. But anyways, we cured that, and I'm dusting off, and now we're going in to Green Goddess, which is such a fun green here, and I need to use this color more. It is great. It is just so pretty. It is the perfect green here. Check it out. Isn't that gorgeous? And again, very, very full coverage. And if you like doing stuff with like nail pigments or pressed powders, you could totally do that kind of stuff with these Bling Galleria colors right here, because they are just so rich and vibrant in color that you're going to be able to do a lot of fun things with these dip powders. They're very diversible, so that's definitely an option for these powders as well. But now we're going to go ahead and file and buff. I'm going to show you one nail on camera here. I'm just cleaning up the sides and the free edge here, and then we're going to go ahead and do some buffing. Now I am buffing with a buffing block today in just a few moments because I really wanted to get that line crisp. So when you are filing and buffing on a color block nail, that line is really just gonna blend together. So it's gonna give you more of like a flawless look versus if you did not buff it. It's just gonna give you more of a cleaner finish. And I did not have any problems with filing and buffing. I did not clear encapsulate or anything like that, and it worked out beautifully. So I did the rest of the filing and buffing off camera. See how that red, you can kind of see it looks like a crayon scribble. All right, so we're going into these fun decals, and before we go ahead and start placing some decals, we're gonna do a layer of gel base on all the nails that we're gonna apply some decals to. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cure that gel base for 30 seconds. That's gonna allow a tacky layer on this nail to really help get these decals to stick, to lay flat to the nail. Also, Bling Galleria gels allows you to have a little bit of wiggle room when you are placing a decal on the nail. So I place those decals in the water for about 30-40 seconds. Obviously that red one's hanging in there a little bit longer, and it's totally fine. And I'm using a jelly stamper here, and we are just going to get it on in between that color blocking here. And you're going to see here now that I can gently move around that decal, and the Bling Galleria gels allow me to move that around. It is not like stuck there or anything like that. Now, water decals or decals in general are very delicate and fragile, so just make sure that you have a light hand when you are moving that around. But if you do ever mess up on a decal and it is stuck there, you just take your buffing block and file it off and then start that process over. But that is that little yellow fish, and then we're moving on to this red fish here. I just love the theme that we're doing this week. We are switching it up a little bit on my channel. We are doing a Dr. Seuss themed week here. So we're incorporating some amazing dip powders with some really fun decals as well. So I just overall love this theme. And it's been a while since we've done a theme. I think the last theme we did on my channel was Disney. But again, that little red fish, isn't it cute? And just it's the perfect red that coincides with that dip powder. So now we're going to get to the fun part here. So that solid white pearl nail, we're going to just layer a whole bunch of fish on this nail to give it just the overall Dr. Seuss red fish, blue fish, green fish. We're going to tie all these fishies together. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to go ahead and put these decals all over the nail here, and you're just going to see here that I'm gently moving that green fish around, and we just put the blue fish on there, and we're just moving everything around, just making sure everything is where you want it, because if you don't move it around right away, you're going to have a harder time moving it around after you finish the mani. So then I was like, this one needs another yellow fish there on the top by the cuticle line. So I threw another yellow fish in the water here, and we are placing that fishy on the nail. Now, how fun is it? We just put a whole bunch of decals on a nail. So now I am taking this flat brush that has a little bit of acetone to it, and I am gently removing any extra decal that may be hanging over that nail. And I'm doing this very gently and carefully so I do not tear into these decals. Also, acetone will dissolve the decal, so you just want to make sure that you have a little bit. And yes, I did brush that brush on top of those fishies just to get any extra air bubbles out. And then to seal in those decals, I went ahead right away and I did a layer of gel base, and I'm curing that for 30 seconds. That's really just going to secure those decals so they don't pop up or anything like that after you just spent that time getting all those air bubbles out and everything like that, like you see here. It's just good practice to go ahead and do a layer of gel base and cure it right away, so then you know that that decal is laying as flat as it can be with the nail. So again, we're going to clean up that extra area there, and I find that the Onyx acetone works best. I will link that in the description box below along with this brush. I tried a lot of different brushes and a lot of different acetones, and the Onyx is the most forgiving, and I feel like it's less harsh when you're working with these decals, and it also helps really dissolve the remaining extra decal that's hanging over the edge. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply gel base to the remainder of those nails and cure it for 30 seconds. And then to finish up this mani, we're going in with the gel top coat, and we cured everything for 60 seconds, and here's the finished mani. Now, how fun is this mani? I think it's so fun. It's cute. The colors are everything. I really like these colors. And to top it off, we added some really fun fish to tie into our Dr. Seuss weeks, but you can see that these colors are pure pigment. They're not splotchy or patchy or anything like that. There's not any white specks in them. They work so well with the gel method, and I just really overall loved how these powders performed. If you haven't tried any dip powders from Bling Galleria or the gels, head over there after this mani and you're gonna find something that catches your eye. Also, I will link everything that we use in today's mani in that description box below, including these fun exclusive decals as well from Nails Truly. So definitely, if you are thinking of any of these Dr. Seuss decals, definitely snatch up that bundle, because once it's gone, it is gone. So I hope you enjoyed this mani. I will see you all tomorrow for day 6 of Dr. Seuss week, and I will see you all tomorrow.